Welcome to Desert City. I'm your host and DM, Jazz Abramowitz. I'd like to extend my gratitude to anyone listening in to this podcast, and a very special shout out to those who have been tuning in for Renaissance City and all the amazing content produced by TTRP Theater. Speaking of TTRP Theater, they produce this show and a ton of outstanding content, so please go check it out at ttrptheater.com. We're going to switch gears for a bit and explore Calimport, a vast desert city for a D&D5E actual play. Join Duke Walter as Ellen, Chris Freedom as Theo, and Dean Martin Jr. as Kevin for this special adventure. This is my first time DMing a D&D campaign, Chris's first time playing D&D, and Dean's first time playing 5e. We may not get all the rules right, please don't add us. But if you would like to let us know what you think, please tweet to us about the show on X at RenCityPod. That's RENCITYPOD. Now let's get on with the show.
My sheet ready.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, really?
No, you don't even know. It's the funniest thing.
Trope. It's a trope. I don't know how it became a trope, but Jesus Christ,
too reliable.
Keep it up. You keep it up.
It's too reliable.
It's annoying. Fuck, I want to know where it is. It should be on that. If I follow that link, I should be able to get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you go dndbeyond.com,
right,
and when you get to the homepage,
I'm already logged in, so that should be easy. Okay, got it. Oh, it's already here. That's all I had to do.
All right. Welcome to Desert City. First, let me tell you a little bit about where you are. You are in Calimport, which is the sprawling capital city of the country of Kalisham. For most of its existence, it was by far the largest city in all of the Faerun. Calimport is between the Calm Desert to the north and the Shining Sea to the south. It rests at the mouth of the Column River, at the very southern end of the Tradeway. To the west of Calimport, the coast extends south, forming a natural harbor of the city. This metropolis is a huge place. It measures almost 6 miles from east to west and 3 miles from coastland to the northern border. Because Calimport has such a long history, including at least 12 times the city's been almost completely destroyed by fire, flood, or war, most of the older buildings of the city have been rebuilt or merged into newer ones. One can find ancient byways, rooms, other structures integrated into the others either by luck or by knowing the right people. Perhaps surprisingly, the city does not have a full wall around it, but the city would be very difficult to place under siege due to its massive size. Calimport is built using the Durdock system, an interlocking series of small bricked walls and neighborhoods. All the Drudocks were organized into groups of 2 to 5 called Sabins, which in turn were grouped into wards. Calimport was subdivided into 17 wards, which are like cities, 53 Sabins, which are like towns, and 166 Drudocks, which are like neighborhoods. Even though this may seem daunting for a foreigner, most locals rarely abandon their home Sabins. Each Sabin was a walled zone averaging about 3,600 inhabitants, and it works as a self-sufficient town. It has its own water supplies, its own guards, markets, residents, and so on. The conditions of the Drudock and the Sabin boundaries are varied greatly between rich and poor regions of the city. In upper-class regions, the walls might be improved by some intricate stonework or glazing, and in poorer areas, the walls have been trampled to mud, and the walls are a little more than stepping stones. You are in the Faiths Ward, located in the northeast part of the city, just north of the Palace Ward and south of the Trade Ward. Ellen and Theo, you find yourselves at the bar of your local watering hole, the Mystic Inn. It is a large space filled with all kinds of patrons. You can hear the clinks of mugs, the laughter and revelry of the customers, and the sloshing of liquids. It smells of ale and wet wood. Behind the bar, Gozes Yazos, a human man, is busy preparing drinks and chatting up the patrons. You used to come here often to download the week's events and blow off some steam, but lately it's been inconsistent. You both are sitting at the bar. What are you talking about?
I mean, I didn't intend to spill the drink on her. It kind of happened. I mean, it was packed, you know? I mean, it was packed. I don't know, man. I think I blew it. I mean, I thought she was into me, you know? I mean, we were having this great conversation. I don't know.
You give up too quickly. Be patient. Reapproach. Give her time to be distracted, and reintroduce yourself.
It's. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
And besides, ye of little faith, you don't know how she works. She may find your clumsiness to be endearing.
You should have seen the look on her face. I don't think it was endearing, you know.
No.
Mug of ale all down her, you know. I mean, this dress was exquisite. She was obviously out to do, you know what I mean, to have a good time. She, you know, on her way to a big party or something like that. I mean, she was dressed up.
Well, it's like we learned in the church. Sometimes your biggest misstep is your greatest opportunity for success. You just have to lean into it, come back, and commit yourself.
As you guys are talking, Gozes starts to approach you with 2 fresh mugs of ale. Ellen, what does Gozes see?
Gozes sees a half-elf. Not super well dressed, but not, you know, I don't look like a street urchin. A little bit in between. Definitely, obviously an adventuring type. Worn leather armor, a short sword at my side, auburn hair, kind of medium length, swept over one side, swept over my right side. A few small bangles, nothing extravagant, but some very well crafted leather bracelets and a necklace. But you can only see that he's wearing a necklace. You cannot see the pendant or jewelry or any of that sort. It's tucked under his leather armor.
And Theo, what does Gozes see when he looks on you? You're muted.
Are you muted?
Oh, it was so good too. You guys missed it.
As is the way.
So he sees a large, light blue man with a stoic face, pointy ears, long brown hair, and how's he dressed? He has like a robe, but it's like a low end, kind of like more like a potato sack type of robe instead of like a high end flowing like of somebody important. But he also has some leather protective gear under it.
Either one of you or both, as Gozes starts to approach you, give me an insight check.
Chris, do you know how to do that?
I have no idea. I'm reading the sheet. I have no idea what's going on here.
So that long column in the middle that has all of your
there it is. Okay.
Acrobatics and animal handling and all that. If you click on the button next to it, ooh, nice. Ellen got an 18.
Nice.
Oh, dope. That's neat.
Yeah, slick, right?
Yeah. Wow. I'll put my dice away. Okay, 15.
With a 18 and a 15, you both know Gozes. You've been here many, many times.
Is Gozes the owner or is just the bartender?
He's the bartender.
Okay.
He seems nervous or distracted as he approaches you. Oi, gentlemen, good to see you again. Can I get you a refill? I've actually taken the liberty of preparing some mugs of ale for you both.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
You're a kind man. Thank you for always taking care of me. How are you today, Gozes?
Oh, I'm all right. It's another day, another gold piece, as they say. Here you are, gents. And he slides 2 mugs of ale towards you. If you'll excuse me for a moment, I have a few more mugs of ale to pour. And
One question.
off.
One question.
Yeah.
One question before he goes away. No. For you, Jazz, as DM from Duke.
Okay.
Is my relationship with Gozes, or our relationship with Gozes? I mean, I assume this is kind of our regular spot. Do I know that he speaks any other languages besides Common? Is he in the world of, you know what I mean, where I could use something secret like Thieves' Cant to speak with him?
He, as far as your relationship with him is friendly, but not familiar.
Okay.
And as far as he just speaks Common. And you've had some deep conversations over a mug
With the bartender, right?
but
Gotcha.
with the bartender. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. I push I push a half dozen coppers across the bar, and then plop a silver down on top of it. Silver's for you, bro. And then let him scurry away.
Right before he scurries away, he looks you in the eye and sort of looks to the bottom of your mug, like maybe there's something underneath it, and then gives you a nod and scurries away to pour his next drinks.
I pull I keep the mug on the bar and pull it toward me, and try to lift up the mug a little bit and slip out whatever's underneath it.
As you pull the mug towards you, looking towards the bottom of it, you see a small piece of parchment rolled up and nestled between the bottom of the mug and the bar.
Theos notices what's going on as well and leans in. Hey, I'm sure that's important, but you know the rules. You don't get to read the note until you drain the ale.
I crush the ale.
Hell yeah.
And Theo, do you drink yours as well?
I will not be challenged. No way.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Will not be challenged.
As you lift yours up, Theo, you also see a parchment underneath your glass.
And gives the nod, tilts it up, and drains mine as well.
Yeah, not slam, but you know what I mean. Put the mug back down on the counter. I am much faster at chugging than Theo. Theo thinks that he can, put back beers. I think Theo can outdrink me, like over an extended period of time, but in a chugging contest, he ain't got me. No way.
Yeah. He's got that elf grace. Ellen's got that elf grace. It just seems to slide down in one gulp.
Yeah.
Well, and the beauty of that is that Theos knows the way you feel about that, and so he will goad you. But I'm in no fucking hurry to drink that thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just casually tilting it back. I'm not actually racing. I think it's great to get you excited about it.
Perfect. Yes. And I down below the the line of the bar itself, so that it's not quite as obvious. Kind of in my lap. I open up the parchment to see what it says.
Are you trying to? You're trying to not be obvious?
Yes.
To the patrons around you?
Correct.
Give me a stealth check, please.
Turns out Ellen's character can't read.
Whoops. Important information for the 0 session. Damn it.
As a cleric of Lathander, you cannot read. Fine. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I can't read?
You can't read. I wasn't about to put that on me.
Oh, yeah. Chris, take your own advice. Stop telling me how my fucking character works.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? I know, right?
I got a 9 on stealth. I think it's probably this place is fucking packed.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people there that, nobody's really looking, but it's impossible to be to be too stealthy, just with as many people are here.
Okay, what's it say?
You unfurl the parchment, and in a script that you recognize, it says, "Meet me at the temple," and it's initialed DEM, who you know to be Dawnbringer Eos Morningwood.
He's calling.
Not feeling it, bro?
No, I thought we were gonna. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, we got all day. Let's go check his box, and we'll come back and hammer this shit out.
Okay.
Theo unrolls his. Now he doesn't feel like it's of any importance to be stealthy, so he just looks at the damn thing.
Yeah, why has he got to play these games? Why, you know what I mean? It's he's got the fucking bartender giving us secret messages under our mugs,
right?
You know, I mean, yeah, he thinks he's so
right. This guy we've known for decades, like, just has to send a secret note through a bartender to get us to come.
Right? Come on. What? Come on. It's fine. It's just so weird.
What's mine say?
Yours says the same thing.
Okay. Hey, shit. Pause.
Did you lose your character sheet or something?
Hey, Gozes. Hey, Gozes.
Oi.
How fast can you give us one for the road?
Oh, right away for my two favorite patrons. And he quickly pours you 2 mugs of ale in parchment.
Oh shit!
in a parchment tube. Don't worry about returning the parchment there. Two for the road.
Nice. So Theo slides over 6 coppers and a silver as well.
Is this just like? Does he just have you hold on to these notes? Is that, you know what I mean? And then yeah, okay, whatever.
The come report to me note.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really at liberty to say how what I do for who, but well, I feel like it's friendly.
Oh, it's totally friendly, goes this. I'm just baffled at all this 007 bullshit that Morningwood thinks that he has to go through. It's hilarious to me. Making himself feel like some kind of super spy.
Goes this, where does your loyalty lie? If I come in here tomorrow and I need you to turn on Morningwood, where you living?
Give me an insight check.
5.
Oh, I'm with you, sir. 100% with you.
Good to know. All right, brother.
So are you guys gonna go towards the temple?
Yeah. So Theo's tipping back the beer with intent to leave the parchment on the bar and not carry the wet paper with him.
Okay, hold on. Chris,
out of Animal Hut.
Chris, what fucking chair are you sitting in?
Oh, is it driving you crazy?
Oh my God.
Is it a squeaker? Well, it's gonna drive you nuts. I don't really have a good option.
Creak.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm giving any spinal comfort to this game today, so I want extra points on all my rolls.
Yes.
You get a +1 to everything.
But the chair is silent, so you got that.
A +1 to everything.
Yeah. You have an inspiration that you can use anytime.
Right.
There you go. Inspiration.
So
Perfect.
In his new enhanced audio state of mind, Theo slams that beer twice as fast as Ellen.
Yeah. Show off.
All right, let's go see what this guy wants.
So as you start to make your way towards the temple, Theo, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history that you have with Dawnbringer Eos Morningwood?
Yeah, so Eos and I, like, he's kind of like a father figure to me, to be honest. Let me pause. Am I telling this to the listeners, or am I telling this to someone in the game?
You choose if you're telling the listeners, or you can have a conversation with Ellen discussing your history. It's up to you.
Gotcha. I mean, Ellen knows, so I guess that's kind of weird. So, all right, I'm doing like a narrative, I guess.
Okay.
So, honestly, it's before I recall, but I was abandoned. I had no adults in my life. I was helpless and vulnerable and needed someone to care for me, or I would die. And Eoth gave me a lift. Eos took me in to the church, and I actually was raised in the church, lived there, and kind of always had. I became kind of I was more of a child of the church. So when something needed to be done in the church, they called on me because I was there in all my free time anyway. Basically, I've learned all the basic functions that happen inside of a church. It's so innate that, like, to me, it just seems like going to the house. It's not that I'm not spiritual. I'm totally spiritual. It's just, it's a default mode spiritual. Like, it's who I am. And, you know, Eos has brought me in, and so I feel like I will always be indebted to him. And yeah, you know, he's kind of that older brother too that like maybe takes advantage of that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much he takes advantage of me. I'm always going to have a bias toward helping him.
Same question for you, Ellen.
It's similar to Theo, but as someone that doesn't have the faith necessarily that Theo has, as I have matured, it's become more of a professional relationship. I think I still have strong feelings for Eos, but you know, I was always a kind of juvie detention kid anyway. Chip on my shoulder, and he fostered the good parts of that in me. Taught me structure, taught me my actions had ramifications, and helped me to make better choices. Still allowed me to be myself, and wasn't trying to control me, but teach me and mold me into something that would be better, or teach me how to better serve myself and the community, instead of just be shitty little criminal, running the streets, just trying to make ends meet.
Can I add something in there?
Of course.
So the way I see it, Eos has his own agenda. He utilizes the church to fulfill his agenda. It's not, I wouldn't say that we've seen it as evil, but it's clear that sometimes we're doing things for Eos and not for the church. And the way I see the characters fitting together, at least, and Duke object if you want to, but I kind of see it as the further Ellen falls away from Eos, the more his involvement is really hanging on his loyalty to me instead of to Eos. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would agree with that. My loyalty first and foremost is to Theo. I still feel indebted to the Dawnbringer, to Eos, but again, as I have grown out of the school and into adulthood and adventuring, and I think that was part of his goal with me anyway, was to, get me to be independent and get me to, be able to move forward in my own life and make my own decisions, just make better decisions than the path that I was on. But yeah, I think he definitely uses us in a variety of roles. Sometimes it is mandates from the church. Many times it is his own personal choices to use us in a variety of ways.
So as you make your way to Dawn Tower, which is a temple dedicated to Lathander, located in your ward, it's a place you guys have both been to 100 times. It's where most of the Dawnbringers are located, and in fact, the highest of them, the highest Dawnbringer of all the temple is stationed there. The most distinctive feature is the central tower, which rises to about 200 feet, about 65 meters. And it's surrounded by 4 smaller towers, and it's adorned with intricate carvings and reliefs and scenes from Lathander's mythology. And it includes galleries, libraries, various courtyards, and the libraries themselves are on either end of this massive temple. So you make your way up to the temple. What do you do then?
We head right for Eos's chamber. This is a place that we frequent. I think we know a multitude of people by name. We are common participants in many things in and around the temple.
That's 100% true. You've been here throughout your entire lives, and you know most of the Dawnbringers. Even if you don't know them personally, you've seen them around, and you both are very, very intimately connected to this church, even though neither of you are necessarily active parts of that church.
If he's not in his chambers, he's been really digging deep on a topic, and I've seen him in a nook over by the library times. Let's go see if we can find him.
Sure. So you go to his chambers, and that is where he is. You notice that he looks very different. He is a human man, average height. He's got sandy blonde hair and pale blue eyes. You notice that his skin looks a little paler. His eyes seem sunken. His hair appears to be thinning. He just looks weak. This is unusual. He's probably 45 years old, middle-aged man. You've never seen him like this.
It doesn't seem unusual based on my mirror. I see that guy every morning.
Yeah.
All right.
I started losing my hair 30 years ago.
Right. Like 45. Shit, my chips were cashed in by then. I don't know what you're talking about.
He has less testosterone than you guys.
Sallow.
For the moment.
Anyway, we got your note.
Yes. Come in, please.
What's up? What's on your list today?
There's something I need to discuss with you both.
Spit it out, old man.
Oh, Ellen, I've always appreciated your sense of humor. I think it no surprise by looking at me. I'm dying.
How do you know? What's happening? What's going on?
Of what?
We've not been able to identify the exact cause, but I have some affliction that is wearing me at an expedited rate. And I fear that I don't have much time left. But I have been communing with other clergy. I've been researching in the library my condition, and I do think that there may be a way to reverse or arrest the condition, but it comes at a great cost.
How do we help? Let's do it.
Theo, I knew I could count on you. This is an undertaking that would be very difficult for any one person, but I'm hoping between the two of you with your skills that maybe there is hope. There is a specific spell component that I believe will help me reverse or arrest this condition. I know it to be within this ward's walls, and I have heard rumor that he who holds it, or they, I'm not sure who has it, but I am told that they are asking 10,000 gold, which I recognize is a near impossible amount to raise.
What do you mean? This is your life. You're telling me that the church won't pony up for that? That's unbelievable.
The church has fallen on hard times lately, Ellen. Lathander's light doesn't shine as bright as it once did to the denizens of this ward. They look to other things now for inspiration. They no longer look to Lathander, and while the church can pony up, as you say, some of the cost, it cannot afford the entire amount.
Is there another way, or does it have to be money?
Well, as you know, I often reach out to you both when there are things that perhaps need to be done, but aren't necessarily within the normal confines of the church. If there is a way to obtain this without the money, well, all is well that ends in the light of Lathander, so I guess that's all I have to say about that.
So what is it that you need? Who has it? And how do we get this?
We'll do what it takes. Rest assured.
The individual component is referred to as the God's Agate. It is a stone of immeasurable power. That is the what. The who and the where, I'm afraid I just don't know. I've only heard rumors, which I'll be happy to share, but I have not been able to confirm that any of these leads are anything more than a wild goose chase. I suppose it's even possible that the existence of the God's Agate itself is false, but that's the only hope I have at the moment.
Can you tell us more about the malady and the action that the God's Agate will take
Yes.
to help?
The malady has quickened my death. I'm not sure how else to put it, but essentially all of my functions are expedited in the sense that I am aging at a rapid pace.
Did somebody put a curse on you? Did you, like, is there, I mean, I am obviously flustered. This is a lot on Ellen.
I think
him like this.
It's a lot for both of you. I mean, this is, as you guys just described.
Oh, yeah.
I wear it on my sleeve. That's the thing.
So
I
you
wear
look
it on my sleeve.
You look visibly shaken.
Yeah, I'm fidgety. You can see how nervous I am. You know what I mean, and uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm obviously shaken at this news.
Ellen, you have always been one to wear your heart on your sleeve, and I can tell that this has shaken you. I wish I knew if it were a curse or some other disease perhaps that I had contracted, but we have been unable to absolutely identify the cause of it. However, to answer your question, Theo, the God's Agate will allow our highest cleric to cast a very powerful spell that can stop this damned quickening of my death. It is a rare spell, and it is a rare component.
Understood. Where does it come from? Do you know the origins of the God's Agate?
No one knows the exact origins of the God's Agate, but it is rumored to be a piece of a divine heart concealed in a glass vial.
So it's small.
Quite small.
So it's not something that will be on display, most likely. Okay. What else do you know? What else do you know? About who may have it or where it may be located within the ward?
It was told to me by one of our congregation that he had heard of its existence at the Glistening Harem. I don't believe it's there, but I think that's somebody there knew of it.
Well, I'm not opposed to going there.
Outside of that, you both are very, very familiar with Alani Crestwood. He may know something about its location or rumor. And then you both know Wylam Tate. I don't deal with him, but I know you sometimes get jobs from the Thieves Guild, and as the leader of the Thieves Guild, he also may have some information regarding its whereabouts or ownership. Outside of those three leads, I really have nothing.
Okay, we'll get started right away. We won't rest until we have this.
I thank you. I don't have much time. But I also don't know exactly how much time I have.
I do have a question, though.
Of course.
Does Ghosis just have like a bunch of those little notes just sitting around and you just like send him a message and he just like passes them along? Or, you know, does he write them in his own hand? I mean, like it's such a weird little like spy net. I mean, I know you love to be all, you know, like cryptic and
You didn't enjoy the rolled parchment under your ale?
no, it cracked me up. I thought it was hilarious, but you know,
I thought that you would enjoy that. You all used to have such fun when I would play games with you like that. And to answer your question, Ellen, yes, I once spent an entire 4 months as part of my service to Lathander writing these notes and rolling them up into small parchment.
4 months?
And then I gave them all to Gozes. I think at one time he had well over 179,000 individual parchments.
Do they all have the same message on them, or is it like a variety of
They all
messages?
have the same message. I have no need for any other messaging. I prefer to speak in person, as you know. So they all say the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
What I love about this process is that every time we get one, we get super excited and guarded, like we're going to get some insider information on this parchment, and every time it's just, let's go see.
Right.
I mean, it's like this big buildup, and every time it's like, oh no, just come see
Sometimes
me.
I will
Same message.
I will call Gozes on my sending stone that he has, and I'll ask him to bring me some stew or some ale, and then he'll usually just hand that over to someone with that note, and they bring it right to the church.
Smart.
That is smart.
It's like you know what I mean? They're dashing right to your door. It's
really,
it's really bright.
Yes, indeed.
It's clever.
Yeah,
it's clever.
You get to eat uber fast.
You could almost partner with eating establishments, and maybe charge a fee for that service.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That's incredible. I hope I live to see that one day.
That'd be a great way for the church to raise money.
If nothing else, we will help to create that in your legacy.
I knew I could count on you.
So, Eos, I need you to hear this. I consider you like a father. I will not rest until we've done this for you. I need you to know that we are all in. What I don't have is a lot of extra resources. Can the church bankroll this? I know we're going to be traveling. We may have to bribe people. There may be things we need to do along the way.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
I don't know what the advantage thing is.
It just means you roll twice and you use the higher.
Oh, okay. 8.
8's the higher of your 2 rolls?
The other one was 4.
Oh, shit.
In my 4 rolls, 2 of them have been 1 out of a 20-sided dice.
Yeah. The dreaded natural 1.
Yeah.
His eyes narrow at you, and he reaches to his side, and he pulls out a pouch that looks pretty heavy, and then he pulls out a different pouch that looks a little lighter, and he hands the lighter one to you.
I look over at Theo, and I just kind of shake my head and I go, why is this exactly the same speech that you give every fucking time that we come in to get some kind of instruction from him? I mean, it's like I could fucking almost say it verbatim at this point.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's 100% it. Like Eos is just like rolling his eyes because you've never changed. You've never changed your approach the entire time.
Right.
So he already had. So what you have, Theo, is a bag of 100 gold pieces. So he already had this 100 gold bag, and he had 1,000 gold bag. And he was saving the 1,000 gold bag if you were going to try a different approach, which you and he have talked about on multiple occasions. But since you used the same approach, you only got 100.
He's even told you that if you just change, but you just can't get out of your own way. What is? I'm doing the talking next time. Okay, I'm doing the talking next time.
Go back there and use sleight of hand. See if you can switch the bags.
Oh, I'm not stealing from him.
No, do it, and then tell him. It'll be funny, and then he'll split the difference.
You've already tried to get me to do that at least 24 times. It has never worked.
Never will.
Right.
Did you guys leave the room, or are you having this conversation right in front of
as
you?
we're walking away.
I think it's as we're walking away.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, he's heard us have this conversation before.
I know. You want me to go up and like give him a hug? You know?
The man is dying. He needs a hug, for God's sake.
Just take the 100. We're fine. Jesus.
All right, Eos. We'll check in with you.
Thank you. I'm counting on you.
This is Desert City, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play produced by TTRP Theater. Jazz Abramowitz is your dungeon master. Theo is played by Chris Freedom. Ellen was played by Duke Walter. TTRP Theater is a group of actors, artists, and gamers from all walks of life that play a diverse set of games in a diverse set of styles. We have a wide array of content available for free on YouTube. Search TTRP Theater and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter at TTRP Theater. Or, wait, it's X. I don't like saying that. You know what I mean. You know, the place with the bird. Oh, it doesn't have the bird anymore either. Okay, go follow us. TTRP Theater, search it all over. Or check us out on the Bird app at Ren City Pod, RENCITYPOD. This is many of the group's first foray into Dungeons & Dragons and Dungeons & Dragons 5e. This is Jazz's first time DMing, so make sure to keep listening and see where it is he takes us. I know I'm excited. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time in Desert City.